Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video. Today round 11 of the online racing league championship season 14, I think so. We wrapped up the championship last week on Silverstone Short. This week we're driving around Monza, looking to get our 6th win of the season in a row. I've done 7 races so far and I've won 6 of them. And so far 5 in a row. So looking to make it 6 today around Monza. You can see currently P2 in qualifying behind Alvaro Carreton.
If Alvaro still can do a lap, then I'll be very amazed.
Yeah, Alvaro quite late getting back to the pit lane.
Fabrizio P15, what?
As I'm burning off some fuel, as you can see, Fabrizio.
Holy smokes!
Fabrizio P15 as Josh went flying through turn 1, I think so. Not sure how he had so much speed, but I got a heart attack from it. So currently just burning my fuel off, getting a gap so I can warm up my tires properly. And then we're gonna start our lap. Currently I've got a 17.340 on the board, which is enough for P2 out of Flores Wires, Alessio Di Capo and Josh Idowu. And as I said before, Alvaro didn't really look like he was gonna make another lap, so maybe we can jump in. You see tires are getting a bit cold. It's quite hard to keep the tires up to temperature because it's so low downforce around this track, especially sometimes going into turn 1. Fronts can be a little bit too cold, so we really need to warm up those fronts. For the final lap we're looking at a 17.1. My PB is a 17.05 at the moment, which is from quite a while ago.
Thank you.
Didn't practice a lot for this race, as currently the focus is really on Formula E, as that's more important than league racing, or this league racing championship. So yeah, starting my lap now. Long line to the start so I can carry more speed into turn 1. 343 kph top speed, braking at 100 meters down to second gear. I go a little bit deep, but we keep the momentum up. Short shift to third and fourth to minimize wheel spin, and then that was already basically sector 1. That's just sector 1, so it's just that first chicane, and we're exactly equal on our own sector 1. 3000s up, a little bit scruffy through the second chicane. See, lost 700s just through there. Hesitated too much. Now going through Lesmo 1, made up 200s, and then through Lesmo 2, made up another half a tenth. So now we're back to equal on our delta, but we should have been 700s up at this time. We're now heading towards Ascari, down to 5th gear, and then short shift to 6th to keep the car stable, up to 7th. Really hard to keep the rear end stable through there. And now heading towards the final corner, we're almost 300s up. Daniel Haddad currently on pole position as Josh Idowu goes P1. Little bit of a moment going into the last corner, and again on the exit, Rear wants to step out, going towards the line.
Not enough.
It's gonna be a 17.2 and 6,000s behind Josh Idowu. With a lot of people still on laps, so we're most likely not gonna end up in P2, as you can see on the results screen right here. We end up P4 behind Josh, Nicolas Longway and Alessio Di Capo. Only 300s off pole position, so yeah, that second chicane really cost me there. But anyway,
No, Josh is also P3 on this stream. Oh man, my second sector was ass.
It's a bit of a scruffy lap and still 0.2, so
yeah, that second chicane cost me pole position probably there, but P4 is more than alright around Monza, as it's really about slipstreaming, getting the right strategy, and trying to get yourself into P2 with enough ERS, tires and fuel for that last lap. Because
this is gonna be an absolute slipstream fest, isn't it?
So yeah, it's really about having the tires, ERS and fuel for that last lap when you're in P2. But you have to be in P2 because you need a DRS to overtake someone, and if the person ahead of you
put hearts on for the banter
has DRS, then it's going to be a lot harder to overtake, of course. So yeah, soft to medium is the original strategy. If no safety car comes out, put in 3 laps of extra fuel, which should be more than enough. Even in clean air, that should be enough. So yeah, let's head into it. So heading towards my grid position and in P4 ahead of Daniela Haddad and Alra Carton. It's been quite a while, I think so, since I've started from P4 or lower in ORL. So will be some good practice in case I will start in the midfield again in formally or F1 Esports in the future. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit different than usual. Not starting on the front row in ORL. But anyway, let's head into it. 5 red lights. And away we go. Initially, quite a bit better start than Josh, and then he gets a little bit of wheel spin, which I think cost him a little bit more. And now we're gonna have slipstream from Alessio. Josh backs out of it, heading into turn 1, braking at 100 meters. Down the inside of Nicolas, as someone behind me had a little look. We covered it off luckily, and now with more momentum on the exit, because we're the outside coming out of turn 2. Now I'm gonna use my overtake, gonna keep using it. Basically,
Why is he hitting me on the straight?
until the second chicane, and now braking at 100 meters. Nicolas goes deep, hits Alessio. Instant
Oh my
safety
God.
car. As Josh,
Surely Josh has to let me through, right?
Josh got really sneaky through there. Don't know how he got away with that.
Can the Hearts make it to the end?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. I think it'd be a stretch.
What even was Longway doing?
Yeah, so Longway went deep, braked a bit too deep into the second chicane, hit Alessio, and now they both have a 5-second time penalty.
Doesn't look like they are. They're just going to react to the SEO, that's what they're doing.
Alessio's 5 seconds.
So yeah, both Alessio and Nicolas have 5 seconds, which means they need to do that 5 seconds in the pit stop. Alessio goes
I wouldn't pit
on
personally,
for
we give
softs.
too much fuss.
As JD says, I shouldn't pit, I end up still
Too
doing
late.
it. So yeah, but Josh got
I'm-
5
Can't
seconds.
make it
I'm gonna get held so bad.
Oh no, too bad.
We're still P8 though. So even if we don't make it. Josh 5 seconds. He spat into the pit lane. He was just copying what I was doing.
Yep.
So Josh was, I think, really focused on me on what strategy I was gonna do, and ended up making the decision too late and then speeding into the pit lane. Now he's a 5-second time penalty, which he can take in the next pit stop, but when you choose for those hards, you don't aim to do another pit
Let's
stop.
get Alessio 5 seconds as well.
So from the people that have made a pit stop,
Yeah, the
we are
other
leading
person stayed
currently.
down was Carrot on P2. The softs.
And they're already 15%. By the time safety car comes in, they're gonna be 25.
Yeah, he has two in a really good position, so yeah.
No wing damage? From what? I didn't hit anyone. I avoided everything.
He just... Yeah, it was his error going to that chicane.
Like, he's already hitting me in like this long right hander. Like, why? Just drive without contact, man. It's not that hard. What's Josh doing? He just drove into the grass. Can you go back on my stream and see if I got a warning cutting that corner? When I avoided Alessio and Nicolas.
I will try. I don't know if I can if you're live.
Yeah, so you go to my profile and then you don't go to the live stream, you just go to videos and then you should see the past 1 hour and 7 minutes that I've streamed.
Okay. Yep.
Sure, big question
Still
right
that
now
chicane at the
is
first lap, yeah.
if we're gonna make it till the end on those hards. So I'm not really pushing under the safety car to warm them up, because we need every millimeter of rubber on those tires to make it to the end. You can see they're really cold, but I don't want to be aggressive on them. We're currently leading out of the people that have not made or have made a pit stop so far, and we're only like P7, so like I would say 4 seconds behind the leader. So even if they have new mediums
Save it all.
at lap 12.
Okay.
You can check on race director anyway, can't you?
Yeah, I just don't like pressing that during safety.
No, you didn't come up with it, so no, you're fine.
So even if they do pit lap 11, 12 for new mediums, they're not gonna make up that 17. No, it's actually more. It's around 20 seconds you lose in the pits.
The longer safety car stays out, the better. I hope it stays out for another one.
Yeah. So as you can hear me say there, the longer the safety car stays out, the less tire wear we have, and the bigger the chance we can make it to the end on those hards, which is crucial. Really don't want to, get a puncture in those last 2-3 laps. So I'm gonna basically the whole strategy
Safety car coming in.
for this
Shit.
race is gonna be saving the tires, but now safety cars coming in, which is not ideal. I need to warm them up quite aggressively, which is not very good for the tires.
Alright, mate. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
But still, I'm just gonna warm them up enough, not too much, because I don't want to put too much wear, especially on the rear left. That's gonna take quite a beating around Monza. So anyway, now preparing the tires and the brakes before we start or restart the race. See, Alessio goes now a little bit of a wiggle on that exit, but half a second clear of Daniela Haddad. And you can see I turn off the overtake already, because there's no need to attack Josh into turn 1. All we need to do is save the tires and maintain position. You can see eventually everyone goes side by side anyway, going into the first chicane. As Tomac tries to go around the outside in turn 1. I was a little bit boxed in because everyone ahead was going so slow. But now putting on the overtake again to defend, heading into the second chicane. Tomac gives up on the fight as well, and we are clear going into the second chicane. Braking a little bit early, as not sure if tires are up to temperature, and also what people ahead are gonna do fighting wise against other people. You can see getting the understeer to let's move on, which is fine. If we can have a little bit of understeer for the rest of the stint, there will be mega, as the rears will drop off, so the balance eventually will shift. So it's still quite high on ERS, which I will need to stay within the DRS of Josh, as I'm not gonna push, I'm just gonna save those tires. See, really not wanting to slide or correct on those tires. 6% now on the rear left after pitting at the end of lap 1. Now Tomac having a little look going into the last corner. In case he is a lot faster, I will let him go, but of course all I want to do is make it to the end on these tires, and if people around me push really hard,
7% on the line.
if people around me will push very hard, they have a big chance of not making it. So we will get them back then eventually.
Someone said pace is not good on these tires. We're only 2/10 of the fastest lap.
DiCaprio is doing 21.8 in the lead.
Then we're fine.
So as you can hear, their
24
pace
last lap.
is good. 24% at the start of lap 10 on that rear left. So yeah, it's gonna be tough making it to the end, but I've committed now, and I want to commit to it, as if we do make it, it will probably be quite an easy win, as Tomac behind me. Every time I look behind me, he was sliding around a little bit on the exits, so I knew he was gonna struggle even more, as I really did not have any wheel spin or big slides out of any corner. You can see I'm so far under the limit going through the Lesmos, really just driving on rails basically, and just doing enough to stay within Josh DRS.
No. Are we not making it?
I think it'd just be quite high. Just check the end of this lap.
Did you roll down every lap so far or no?
Not so far, no.
Okay.
So yeah, as you can hear me and JD talk about what we're gonna do. I'm in clear. I'm gonna stick to this strategy. I'm not gonna go for the softs, as I only have used softs.
So hard to save tires with this low downforce.
As now Alessio and Alvaro come into the pits for the mediums, so they're gonna be obviously quite a lot faster for the rest of the race.
27.
As at 3% on the rear left on the last lap, but it's somewhere in between 3 to 4%. If it's to the higher range of 3%, we're not gonna make it, but if it's to the lower end, we will make it. So that's the question. It's not per decimal, which makes it really interesting, of course, as you never really exactly know. But yeah, Alessio and Alvaro gonna be really fast. Alessio obviously had to pit or take the stop and go penalty, so the only real threat is gonna be Alvaro the rest of this race, unless we get a puncture, of course. But that's not what we're aiming for. I'm just doing enough to stay within the DRS of Josh, so I can save tires. And also, I'm just using my ERS to stay within that DRS and not using my tires at all. And now we move on to the end of lap 20. You can see Nicolas Longway up to P5, but he has 9 seconds of penalties. And the same for the people behind me. Both Tomek and Daniela, 3-second time penalty. So basically we're quite safe at the moment when it comes down to the people around us. But we shouldn't forget Alvaro has not got any penalties, and he is closing in at an extremely fast rate. Obviously because of the tires. Not to mention he's also really fast around Monza. So yeah, for now I'm gonna stick behind George, save more tires, because even though I've been saving the whole race, it is gonna be tricky. And you can see I moved my brake bias to 51.
Mine is on now as well.
Yep, copy.
As the tire indicator comes on, which means we've just hit 60% on the rear left. Luckily for us, all the people around us had to do way
You're
earlier.
committed now anyway, so just keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Especially Longway, I think was around 15% more tire wear than us. So yeah, basically Josh was around 5% more, and Tomek was
Josh
over
on
5% more as well.
30% behind.
And at the
What the
same
fuck are they
time,
doing?
we also had a lot more ERS, because here JD say there 40% for Josh on the ERS and 35 for Tomek. So we can save more tires.
71% tires.
Yeah, so we can save basically more tires and then use that ERS to not get overtaken. At the same time, I don't want to overtake Josh yet, as I want to keep that understeer from the dirty air.
Josh on 55 brake bias. Okay.
Yeah, I was hesitating there for a bit, as Josh was on 55. I was thinking maybe I should go to 52, but I wanted to stick to my own plan. Balance felt good, especially under braking, so didn't want to change that and just save my tires my own way. Really keeping down the minimum speed in those medium to high speed corners, and then not have any wheel spin out of the slower corners like chicane 1 or the first chicane and the second chicane. But yeah, for now I'm gonna stay behind Josh for a bit longer and yeah, see how it goes. So now moving on to halfway through lap 24, you can see Nicolas Longway dropped from the P5 position. He got a puncture.
Below maybe 80%. Keep going.
So Nicolas Longway already had a puncture more than 3 laps before the end, which really shows how hard it is to make it to the end on these tires. Tomek behind me pushing
Puncture
really
for
hard as
longer.
well.
Already.
10-15% more than you, so
At what did they get a puncture? Do you know?
can't quite see at the moment.
10-15% more, yeah, that's above 80.
So yeah, as you can hear JD say there, Nicolas Longway puncture already at 10 to 15% more on the rear left. Wasn't probably saving
slide for
tires.
Josh.
As you can see, Josh getting a little bit out of shape, which is hurting those tires at this point.
56 brake bias now.
I'll go one up as well.
Yeah, so now I finally decided to go for 52, as the fronts are a lot better than the rears, tire wear wise. I think there's 10 to 15% difference.
Tomek got a puncture?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna be extra careful then, because if they pop at 80 then...
I think it's quite randomized when they pop, so just be careful.
Two laps after this, right? Yeah.
So yeah, if I watched the video back from Tomek, and he got a puncture 76%, which I've never seen in my life before. So yeah, that's interesting.
73.
We're on 73 now. So yeah, I think everyone on the hards at this point is at the risk of a puncture. if they can pop at 76, then yeah, even we are gonna be at a risk.
Seems like
even
Josh's
though
doing the same as me, so.
we have been saving all race, as Josh is not really pushing on this lap on the straight.
78 rear.
Oh.
So Josh with 2 laps to go, already on 78%. We're on 73, which means we can have 7% on that last 2 laps, which should be more than enough.
Jake is gonna finish P2 if he doesn't get a puncture.
Yep.
I want to keep distance, but I got that behind me as well.
Does have a penalty, but copy.
So yeah, reason I'm saying I want to keep distance is Josh can get a puncture at any moment as well, as he is quite a bit higher than us.
35% ERS.
So Josh at 35% ERS, and we have so much more, which means I'm gonna pass him on that last lap. I don't want to stay behind and have the risk of getting a crash if he gets a puncture. So I'm gonna use my overtake here on that back straight to close in, and then put it on out of the last
I can
corner.
pretty much send it into the last lap. I'm on 75.
So 75%, which means we can do 5% on that last lap. Ideally 4, of course, but yeah, that should be easily possible as I now get the slipstream from Josh, turn on the DRS, overtake button on. You can see his rear lights start flashing, which means he's out of ERS, and then going around the outside into turn 1, braking the 100 meters, go a little bit wide, a little bit of a wiggle on that entry, but we make the move and we're up to P1. Now I'm going to use my overtake button again to try and stay ahead so he doesn't come back at us going into the second chicane. And we shouldn't forget
77.
he's a lot higher.
I should
on
have a
tire
little
wear.
bit left.
He's probably at this point around 82% tire wear going into the second chicane. And Jakey B will made his debut on PC today in this online racing league. Currently looking to finish P2 on penalties, as he doesn't have a penalty yet, and all 3 people behind me, P2, P3, P4, have penalties. So yeah, Alvaro is behind Jakey at this point, and yeah, so all Jakey needs to try and do is try and fend off Alvaro. But let's not forget Alvaro is on fresh mediums, as Alvaro eventually does.
Carrot on 2.5 behind.
Alvaro eventually does overtake Jakey on those fresher mediums. Now going to the last corner, you can see the tire indicator has turned really red, which means we're on the limit. You can see 79%.
79, perfect.
Yep, just under 80.
Let's go.
Nice one, bro. Good job.
Alvaro P2, Jakey P3.
Shit, I did say Jakey would have been nice P2. Good stuff. Awesome job, man. Nice one.
Thank you.
So Jakey eventually does finish in P3. My teammate Patrick Crouch in P4, who is I think P2 in the driver championship. He already was entering this round. Maybe Alvaro overtook him, not sure. So Alvaro got a 6-point advantage there. So that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, very good job from Alvaro, Jakey and Patrick after Patrick started I think P17. Jakey had a crash on the first lap which caused the safety car. It wasn't the incident between Nicolas and Alessio that caused the safety car. It was a big crash coming out of the second chicane that caused it, which made Jakey lose his front wing and let the safety car come out. So yeah, very tough race on the tire wear. Probably the toughest as Nicolas goes for a little spin, still driving on his punctured tire. So yeah, he didn't decide to go for the pit stop. He just decided to stay out on these tires, giving a nice show to all the best fans around Monza. So yeah, anyway, I'm very happy with this race. 6 wins in a row in this season. I think last season I had a 5-race win streak at the start of this game. So yeah, I hope I can maybe make it 7 next week in Bahrain. Not my best track, not gonna lie, but I won there in F1 Esports, so anything can happen. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more league racing videos, and see you guys next time. Ciao.